Hello, and welcome to today's Read Aloud. My name is Maria Kruzdlo, and I'm a board member with the West Jersey Reading Council, and we are affiliated with the New Jersey Literacy Association. And today I want to share a book with you called Jujubee and Willow. The author of this book is Yoo-Jun Sun, and it is illustrated by Shifeng Zhu. When you listen to this story, I want you to think about three things. I want you to think about what's in the book. What does the author want you to think about? Who's telling the story? And then I want you to think about what's happening in your head. So, for example, did something surprise you? Is there something that challenges your thinking, confirms your thinking? What do you notice? And then thirdly, think about what is happening inside your heart. So we know that books leave a mark on our heart. And I want you to think about, as we're going through this story, what kind of mark does this book leave on your heart? How does it change you? Because every time we read a story, we are a different person than before we began that story. So without further ado, let's get into the book, Jujubee and Willow. There was once an old man who loved to watch things grow. One day he planted a little jujube tree. But the old man thought the little tree looked lonely. So the next day he planted a little willow tree. You two will be best friends, he told them. So one of the things that I'm thinking about is the author want me to think that trees can be friends. I never thought about trees being friends before, so that's something that surprises me, and I kind of wonder, where is this book going to go? Willow wasn't so sure. Jujubee's branches were cracked and ugly, not smooth and pretty like his. When spring came, tiny leaves sprouted on Willow's branches. Jujubee's branches remained empty. A few days later, Willow was covered with light green leaves. "Don't I look handsome?" he called to Jujubee. But Jujubee said nothing. Willow's leaves grew longer and shinier. "I am so handsome," Willow thought. "Too bad you have no leaves," Willow called to Jujubee. Still, Jujubee said nothing. Now I want to stop here because I noticed something that the author is doing. The author is using repetition. Jujubee said nothing on that page, and Jujubee says nothing here. So I think to myself, how might that change the story going forward? So I'm going to be on the lookout for, does that repetition happen again? And what does it make me think about? Is Jujubee not saying anything because she's sad? Is Jujubee not saying anything because he doesn't know how to respond? I'm not really sure. Finally, after many days, Jujubee's branches sprouted a few shiny leaves. They were much tinier than Willow's. Willow swayed proudly in the breeze. "My leaves are so much longer than Jujubee's," he said to himself, and smiled. Days passed. Jujubee grew little blossoms. "What a pretty smell," said the old man. When summer came, the blossoms disappeared. Little green beans grew in their place. "What are those?" Willow wondered. He frowned as the beans grew bigger each day. So I'm noticing now that Willow's emotions are changing. He felt all proud and boastful, and now he's not feeling so confident. So I'm wondering again, how is that going to change things moving forward? I'm wondering if Willow is going to be jealous. Is something going to happen? I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about those things in my head because that's what good readers do. Still, Jujubee said nothing. There's that repetition again. So I'm still not sure why Jujubee isn't saying anything, but it has to be important because the author keeps bringing up that fact that he doesn't say anything. When autumn came, Jujubee's beans turned into red fruit. Children came to pick the fruit and fill their baskets. "How delicious this jujube fruit tastes," said the old man and the children. Willow watched. "Oh no," he thought. "I used to tease Jujubee. Now he will laugh at me because I have no fruit." Willow trembled, waiting for Jujubee to make fun of him. But still, Jujubee said nothing. There's that repetition again. Finally, Willow cried out to Jujubee, "Why aren't you laughing at me?" "Why would I laugh at you?" Jujubee asked. Willow hung his head. "I cannot bear fruit," he said sadly. Gently, Jujubee waved his branches at Willow. "That is true," he said. "But when winter ends, you are the first to turn green. You are the one who lets children know spring is coming. In autumn, your leaves stay on your branches longer than mine. Also, you grow faster than I do. When you are all grown up, many people will rest in your shade in summer. How nice will that be?" "You are good, Jujubee," Willow said. "I'm sorry I made fun of you." He waved his branches happily. "The old man was right," he added. "From now on, we will be best friends." So what do you think about this Rye-Craft story? Thank you so much to Rye-Craft for allowing us to read these books and share them with children during this time where we are home. I know I've enjoyed listening to the stories that are read each day. And as we think back to our book and our head and our heart, the book tells us a story about unlikely friendship. My head is thinking, I was surprised that even though Willow wasn't being very nice to Jujubee, Jujubee didn't react and he wasn't mean back. He was kind, and that changed Willow in the end. And heart. How did this book leave a mark on your heart? I want you to think about that. Maybe talk with somebody that you're listening with, because every book changes who we are just a tiny little bit. So the more stories you build into your repertoire, the more adventures you can have, and the more little spots on your heart you're going to have from all the books that you've read. I know one of the things this book does for me is it reminds me that even though we're all different, we all have good qualities that we share with the world, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. It is just different, and different is what makes the world go round. So I hope you enjoyed the story, Jujubee and Willow by Rye-Craft Books, and I look forward to seeing you again. I hope everybody is doing well. And I'd like to give a shout out to my DeMacy friends. Hopefully some of you are watching and listening. I miss you and hope to see you all very soon.